734 acres. We have about 70,000 people interred here now. Arlington in Washington is got 500,000. So in terms of number of people, we're not up in that venue, but you know, it grows. We have as few as maybe 5 a day, but we've have as many as 20 a day too. This is my uncle. And I can print the map. Now the maps that come out of here are a little bit difficult to read. And so we have another one which we've been able to copy, located, and then show you know, the people who are here for this individual. I can show them how to actually get to this location. One of the most amazing ones that I recall is sitting here and seeing a young man, I would say probably in his 40s, and he was standing out near the kiosk that we have where you can type in a name and it'll give you, print out a map and the location for that particular person. And I always go out to help people because the weather is there, or sometimes the sun is reflecting off the computer. And so I go out and see if I can be of help. And this young man, when I went out that day, was raggedy. He reeked of alcohol and tobacco, and you know, when I asked him if I could help him, and you know, I'm trying to find my father. You know, haven't tried to find him for over 20 years. And so we typed the information into the computer and printed out the information for him. And I always highlight, you know, where it is on the map and so forth. And I chatted with him and just, you know, said, look, you know, I don't know what has transpired here, that you've been separated from your father for this long period of time, but it's time now to forgive him or let him forgive you. Make tomorrow a better day, because you cannot change the past. You can only go forward. And there's an old saying there that fear and regret are twin thieves. They rob you of your yesterday and your tomorrow. And so I gave him a hug, and he took off, and I've seen him since, and he looks better. So, wow, I did something that really helped somebody. He got involved because I read in the newspaper that someone who was here had injured himself mowing the lawn. And so I used to mow lawn at the church, and so I came over here to say, can I help you? I'd be glad to mow the lawn. No, they can't do that. The liability is too much to have volunteers doing that. However, we have, you know, this job, and then they explained to me what that was, and you know, I said, wow, that's terrific. Her parents were divorced when she was a baby, an infant, and she didn't know. Then her mother got remarried, and she didn't know who her real father was until there was an obituary in the newspaper, and somehow it you know, became obvious that this was her father, and or she'd done some genealogy work, something like that, and so she was here to, you know, to locate him, and you know, I'm able to, you know, give her some information how to find them and so forth, and you know, it comes a point in time in your life when you can't go back and not forgive. You got to forgive and get beyond it, make tomorrow a better, brighter day. So it's an honor to be here, to serve and give a little bit, and you know, it's how we need to treat each other. I go out to the area that we have here, the cortege lines, and I help line up the funerals, and we could have as many as 3 different ones lined up out here at one time. And that can be confusing too. It's not unusual to have somebody who's showing up early, and occasionally we have somebody who'll show up late. And I guess one of my favorites is looked out here one day, and a fellow was kind of jumping out of his car, and he kind of putting his tie on, and he runs in here and he says, I hope I'm not late, I hope I'm not late. And what service are you here for? And he gives me the name, and gee, that doesn't sound familiar, but come on in. And so he came in, and we looked, and he was not on the list for today, but he was on the list for the next day. I have 5 children, and I used to tell them it's better to be 5 hours early than 5 minutes late.